Hey, Mercedes W202 C-230. Merry Christmas to the car. Most of the stuff didn't really need to be replaced, but I got this stuff so ridiculously cheap that I figured I was going to just do the whole suspension. The car's been good to me. Driven it for about 4 months, so I figured I'd just put some love into it for Christmas. So what we're going to be doing is front rear lower control arm bushings, polyurethane replacements, not their originals. These are going to last forever. Got ignition coils for like 20 bucks a piece, so figured what the hell. All 4 shocks, transmission filter, the sway bar end links, and the entire rear suspension, all the torque arms, thrust arms, control arms, sway bar links, all of them. 50 bucks for this full kit of all the rear suspension, so I couldn't say no to this. Sway bar end links were like 3 bucks. Most expensive thing actually, 100 bucks for these polyurethane rear front lower control arm bushings, and not much to them for 100 bucks for a pair. But hey, if they're going to take away that that clunking in the front end, I'll be happy to do it. So stay tuned, it's all coming bit by bit. Okay, when you're doing your rear suspension, the first thing you're going to have to do is remove this lower control arm cover. It's plastic, and it snaps on. There's little lips here. Just stick a screwdriver in there and pop them all off. I think this 10 mil might hold it on at the back here. There's a 10 mil bolt right there. Not 100% sure. Haven't taken one off before, but actually I'm pretty sure that does retain it in the back. So this lower suspension, lower control arm plastic cover has to come off so you can get to the bolts for the lower shock mount and the stabilizer end link mount. So this gets popped off first, and yeah, this is holding it on. So that's a 10 mil bolt. I think there's one on the other side. Yeah, there is. And then this will just pop off. Okay, for the rear shock, once you've got the plastic cover out from the bottom, there are two. There's a 17 mil bolt nut on this side, and a 17 mil on the other end of the bolt to hold it. So just 2 17s, and the lower comes out. Now the upper, you have to remove the inner trunk lining on either side to get to it. There's where are they? There's 3 of these, or 3 or 4. These little push pull pins. You pull the inner pin, pop it out, and then pull the whole pin out, and that'll unlock the inner fender liner or trunk liner, and then you just pull it out of the way. And you can see here, I don't think I've popped the 4th one out yet. No, I haven't popped the 4th one out yet. Anyway, you can see back. See back at the back there, you can see the long bolt. That's the upper shock bolt. You might be able to reach it without pulling this whole fender out, just kind of pulling it aside, but it's easier to just pull the trunk liner out. I'm going to finish this up, and I got to pull that 4th locking pin. Okay, now you can clearly see the upper shock mount here. 2, I don't know if they're 17s or 19s, let's find out. Slip a wrench over this and see what it is. 17. So you need 2 17s. You'll need one on the lower bolt and one on the upper bolt. Lower bolt to hold it. They're going to be locked together. So yeah, you'll need 2 17s. Undo those, and it should pop right out. You've got your, I don't know if there's a lower spacer or washer in there or anything. It comes with the shock kit anyway. There'll be a bushing, a spacer, a washer, and then the 2 locking bolts. And I'll have that back in a second. Okay, so we're just pulling off the last upper shock bolt nut, washer, and there'd be a rubber grommet that I am trying to There we go. And the rubber grommet. And those should be in your new kit. There is no lower. No, it's just in the part attached to the inner fender there. So anyway, we're going to yank the whole thing out and replace it. Okay, so lower's undone on this, the shock, upper's undone, and it being an old shock, it's probably a little bit weak, so we can just pull it down. Holy crap, it isn't. Come on, baby. Wow, compressed, baby. You bugger. This shock doesn't want to give up the ghost. I'm gonna probably need two hands to wrangle this sucker up out of here. Let's pull it up from the bottom first. The problem with filming while you're doing this is one-handed is like a nightmare. Anyway, you have to use two hands to pull this thing down, and it's simple. You're just collapsing the shock on itself. You're just compressing the shock, and then lift it down and up and out. So I don't even need to explain. I don't think. Actually, I found placing the lower mount first was easier, and then we'll just pull down on it with both hands and guide it over. Don't forget, before you put it on, in the kit, oh nice leaf, in the kit there's an upper boot that goes on top of the shock. It'll keep it from banging. It's like an isolator to keep it from banging against the inner fender. So then once that's up there, we're going to pull that down, compress, and then stick it back through the hole. Okay, now we're back inside with the upper rear shock poked through, and now we've got the. Don't forget, there's a bushing around the upper shaft. I can't really pull it off. There's a little slide-on bushing on there. Don't forget that. It might fall off on you. Mine fell off, so I've had to pop it back on. But it's just there to locate the upper grommet. Then you've got the washer, and then we're going to tighten that down. We got to pull that up through a little bit further. I'm sure you've got the picture though. It's not rocket science. It's a shock absorber. They're pretty easy. And tighten it down. Replace the through bolt on the bottom of the shock, and you're done. Okay, there's the upper shock mount back in. You can tighten this thing until the bushing is completely compressed, and you're having you'll have the this washer here knock against the inner fender. It's a bushing. You can compress it beyond belief. Don't bother. It's just a rubber bushing. It's an isolator. It's to keep the sound out. Tighten it down snug and firm, about 40 psi. I don't even know if that 40 pounds. I'm not sure what the torque is on it. Probably about 30. But and then put the locking nut back on. I reused the Mercedes stuff, the original. I know the aftermarket was Bilstein, but Mercedes makes damn good hardware, so I reused it. Again, I said if you can compress this until this rubber bushing comes squishing out the bottom, absolutely pointless, doesn't do anything. You want to leave it nice and thick and flexible. It's supposed to absorb the cushion the shock of the shock absorber moving up and down. It's an isolator. It keeps noises out of your car. It makes for a nice, smooth, quiet ride. Don't compress the crap out of it. Tighten it nicely so it's not moving, and that's about it. Same with the bottom. Although the bottom is you tighten to about 45-50 pound-feet, and that's about it. New shock in, and now we're going to work on the suspension.